What's going on, y'all? This is Davis, and today we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have a conversation about how the dank vapes and illegal THC vaping cartridges are fucking up the whole vaping industry and could end up causing a lot of people to die from cancer. This ain't cool shit. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this started off with a little PSA, alright? Now, I'm not associated with either the marijuana or the tobacco industry in any way, shape, or form. I'm a normal guy doing my own normal research, alright? These are the facts. So fucking listen up, alright? What's going on is people are going out in the illegal states where marijuana is not legal. They're buying these cartridges. They're buying cartridges that are being cut with some substance. We'll do some more. We'll do a little. I'll do a little looking, a little verifying. So I have a couple names, but I'm not sure if they're right. So I'm not going to say them. They're cutting these cartridges with substances. Now the reason that they're cutting them means that they are adding additional things to the original drug. Most of the time, that's just to increase the amount of volume that you can make. Right? It just so say you got some water, right? You're gonna go ahead and dump half a cup of milk in there. What happens? You end up with a bullshit mix of water and milk. Who the hell wants that? It's actually a pretty decent comparison to what's going on here. That people are ended up buying these cartridges, taking puffs on them, and end up in the hospital with either severe respiratory damage. Some of them died. I'm sure you guys know this. 6 people have died from this. Because this has been an explosion by the media, and here is where the problem lies. The media has been exploding this problem into something that it's not. They're taking the THC cartridges and they're expanding that into all of vaping. Some states in the U.S. have went through and banned, and or at least tried to ban flavored vaping. I don't think any of that stuff's going to go through. Is going to go through on any kind of a permanent level, because I think that the truth's going to end up going through. And I think even the President of the United States, Donald Trump, went and saying, "Oh, Big Dad, well, I'm going through and I'm banning the vapes." Somebody must have educated him, because I think he did go through and retract that statement. But the whole Twitter conversation is something we should have another day. So the whole vaping industry is being blamed for this this explosion of illegal cut THC cartridges. Here's the solution. Now, how are you gonna go through and completely remove an illegal, unsuperior product to a illegal but superior one? How are you removing that unsuperior product? There's no way you can regulate it. It's illegal. People are gonna sell them. There's a market for it. People are going to buy and sell them. People are going to die from it. How do we fix that? Easy solution. Legalize marijuana in the United States. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with either the marijuana or the vaping industry, although I've been looking into stocks with marijuana because they seem to be doing fairly well. Industry is kind of exploding. But anyway, I'm not influenced by either of these two markets, right? I'm not influenced in any way. It needs to be legalized. That way, at least what people are consuming is being regulated by some sort of regulation body. That's at the very least determining that it's not having extreme adverse effects. Right? I mean, if you're out smoking pot, your standard joint or whatever, I mean, that carbon can't really be all that good for your lungs, but at the very least, it's being regulated, and you're not getting the same stuff that ends up being cut with heroin, fentanyl, or cocaine because you have to buy it illegally. That would solve this entire problem. The problem's not going away. Like I'd said, the problem's not going away because there's always going to be those kids. But if we can reduce the amount of people in the market purchasing these vapes, decreasing their market value, which, you might think initially decreasing their value would be a bad thing, but if we decrease the demand for them, they aren't going to produce as many. If they don't produce as many, there isn't as many in circulation. Alright everybody, so I went through and did a Google search on vaping illnesses, and these are the first 4 results. I haven't looked at these at all, so this is just going to be what the general public is seeing when they vape, when they look this up. And this is a website, or this is actually the CDC, or is a government-run website based on facts. We'll see what they have to say about that. Okay, let's see here. The CDC, a multiple outbreak of lung injury associated with e-cigarette products, devices, liquids, refill pods, and or cigarette use. Nothing about THC. Key facts. Electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes, also called vapes, e-hookahs, vape pens, and electronic nicotine delivery systems. Using an e-cigarette product is commonly called vaping. The liquid can contain nicotine, tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, and cannabinoids, or THC and CBD cannabinoids, and other substances and additives. So they do mention at least something about THC. What we don't know. We do not yet know the specific cause of these lung injuries. The investigation has not identified any specific e-cigarette or vaping product, devices, liquid, refill pods, caps, blah blah blah, or substance that is linked to all cases. What we recommend? Let's see. Healthcare recommends you consider refraining from e-cigarettes. If you use e-cigarettes containing nicotine to quit cigarette smoking, do not return to smoking cigarettes. That is a huge thing that I didn't mention earlier that I meant to actually, was that a lot of these people, if you go through ban vaping, they're just going to go right back to cigarettes. They started on cigarettes. So they're going back to they're going from the 5% damage that has been studied to the 95%, or to increasing that by 95%. That's maximum damage. Alright? Okay. So I think we've seen pretty much all we have to see here. So let's go ahead and jump into the next one. There we go. Vaping illnesses soar past 1,000 with investigators no closer to pinpointing cause. My ass. The Food and Drug Administration should have acted sooner to curb the surge in youth vaping. So they bring it back to the whole youth thing. It's not just youth. 11 people have died, 2 in California, 2 in Kansas, plus deaths in Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri, and Oregon. Oh, there we go. The FDA has received 300 vape product samples and has tested about half for the presence of nicotine, THC, painkillers, cutting agents, pesticides, and toxins. About half of the products that contain THC also contained an ingredient called vitamin E acetate. Now that's the ingredient I mentioned earlier that these manufacturers are cutting this with. And I've got this up over here. We're going to take a little bit closer look into that. So they do at least mention THC, but again, all these websites, they may mention it, but they point towards the main problem being nicotine. You have to scroll halfway down the page to see anything about THC. Let's get into the next one. There we go. Now we got it. Juul dominated. The first thing... See, that's why we got a freaking ban. Oh, fucking ads, man. Health risks should be considered refraining from e-cigarettes or vaping products. As EDC said, using industry, Juul Labs, going back to the safe vaping. But I'm not going to guarantee they could find something. Again, no mention of THC or cut products. I'm gonna close these out. Vitamin E acetate. Now these guys are spitting a little bit of the truth. All right. Big news on lung industry outbreak yesterday, and it came, again, from the cannabis press. Leafly reported that multiple companies have been making and selling cutting agents for hash oil used in vape cartridges that contain the substance known as vitamin E acetate. The dangerous product may be more than half of the carts sold in the U.S. Vitamin E acetate has gained popularity as a diluting agent for black market cannabis oil produced in California and sold in cartridges across the country. While it's sometimes called vitamin E oil, the substance is not a true oil, although it is oil soluble. Its chemical name is something. I'm not going to read that. And before it was used to dilute cannabis oil to stretch the batch to fill more carts, it was primarily employed in the manufacture of cosmetics and soaps. So yeah, it does look like it is that vitamin E acetate that must be causing issues. Huh, that's interesting. So apparently, this vitamin E acetate isn't just being used in illegal cartridges. Apparently, people are throwing in legal ones too, to dilute the oil and increase profits. So scratch what I said earlier about buying even legal ones. Apparently, those are a threat too. Just pay attention to what's in your shit. All right, everybody. So we pulled up 4. It's not looking good. All right. They're not mentioning it nearly early enough, and they're pushing the blame off onto vaping itself, right? Now they do mention, a lot of these websites do mention, oh, THC might have something to do with it, but vaping. Look at all those jewels. Look at all those 12-year-olds and fucking like recess out jeweling. But seriously, pay attention to what you're reading. Know your sources, all right? And don't be fooled by what these big media companies are spewing, all right? That's all I got to say in this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. If you have anything to say regarding this topic, or you want to argue with me and tell me that I'm the biggest idiot in the world, feel free, all right? That comment section's open game. Ish. Don't be fucking stupid. But I'd like to have conversations about this. If I'm wrong, I'd love to know it, so I can, admit to being wrong. But I really don't think I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day.